and Lauren, they can take it home and they can read it at their own leisure, at their own pace. I mean, they want, because obviously he's reading quite fast. In fact, maybe at such a pace, they can't absorb it all. But if they've got the actual book in their hand, then they have much more time to absorb it. Don't they?
That's the reason why we have these different books
Yes,
here.
of course.
And we use it like we don't use the one that in YouTube. Normally we don't use it. We use the one that we have here, where we buy those books, or we go to the library and we will return it after. Like we just we have that, and then like, you know, like you can get some book from the library and then you read, and when you finish.
Next time you go to the library, I don't know how often you go there, but have a look amongst their children's books and just see if you can see a couple of copies. That would be really nice. If they have a different one, I think
they do have. They do have, because they have a lot of books there, and they do have them, because when we used to go there and attend that library, and it's not far from, it's 5 minutes from our place here.
Good.
It's 5 minutes to go there, just up there.
Keep it in mind for your next visit anyway. Okay. That's great. Well, we're on the right track anyway. I mean, little by little, we'll get this fine-tuned, and it will be quite an easy process. This is our first attempt. And you know,
like for us here, like we have the short story. It is interesting story that children likes, and it's a small book. It's not like a big book. They will finish it in no time. Like, I mean, like maybe even like 5 minutes, and because it's a small.
5 minutes is ample.
Yeah.
Beyond that, they start to lose a concentration.
It's a small book, and and that they can just read it, and before they do that each and every evening. They read, and then they and the thing is, when you ask them like what you have read, they can explain.
They understand the story. Yes. Well,
they can
all
explain.
part of
And
the learning.
For us here, we don't want them to just like focus on the story that they see on TV.
No.
But we want them to focus on, even if like the book that they haven't read, but we ask them to read, and then we ask them to explain like what you have gotten from that book, the thing.
I think with some children, of course, they'll read the words but haven't got a clue what it is it's about. They're just simply reading words, but of course it's the comprehension, the understanding is the important as well. So this is where when you question them afterwards, having read a page.
And like when Leslie was start reading it, and she has this one has like 10 series.
Oh, nice. Oh,
just
lovely.
Me, just my friend and me.
Super. Perfect.
And it's simple. It's simple one that the things there.
That's right.
See? And
nice.
And then she finished them. You know, like just a little one on top there.
Nice, yeah.
It's not like a lot, huh? It's not a lot, but it's just like this. So
it's a similar thing. Yeah, that's nice.
And she has them, and she read, and she understand when she was started reading, and she has like many of them 6 or 7 but it's the same characters.
That's good.
It's the same, but it's different.
Right.
Different
title. Character.
And and we tell them to do it, and she loves reading now. Like,
oh, I'm sure. I can't imagine any
morning,
child enjoying that.
and she loves, well, they read in the morning and in the evening before they go
Yeah.
to sleep.
And really, they become self-motivated, because if they can read it and understand it, then they get quite a kick out of that. I think, gosh, I've just read a page and I know exactly what's going on. And it's a real feeling of achievement inside them, and motivates them to want to read more and more until, well, I'll say they become bookworms, but it encourages them
the
to
thing
read
that I
more.
have seen is now, like, they got nice words to use when they speak.
Yes,
And
well,
even me, because English is not my my language, so sometimes they use another word that I haven't ever heard.
Never heard of.
And
No, that's right. Yeah.
I asked them, what is that? And they explained. And I was like, no, I don't use that. And then Link was like, oh, mommy, she doesn't know that.
No. No, well, I mean, even me, I come across the occasional word. I think, what on earth does that mean? And so I thought, well,
I don't mind, because I don't mind like listening to them and telling me a new word, because I didn't hear that. I have ever heard about that word. No. And they were explaining, and then they were like, no, mommy doesn't know that. And I say, remember that English is not my my language. No, so when you say something that I didn't use, I can understand. I can learn from them too. It's not meaning that I would not, because there's many words that I don't know. I'm telling you.
Well, you came up with a word which I haven't heard for years: procrastination. And I thought to myself, I've heard that word. What on earth does it mean? And do you know, all these years, I've never really fully understood what procrastination was, or to procrastinate. I thought, what a long word. So now, of course, you explained about delaying something that you want to do. So now I learned something from that also.
And that's the beauty of learning.
I've never heard it used anywhere other than maybe in politics, but anyway, it was refreshing.
Yeah, like I was just wondering, like, how much they get from reading, because they can read many books, and they can get many things that I don't even think of.
Yes.
And then and when they use the words, I was like, what is that? And I asked my husband, like, what is that? And my husband started like explaining to me. And I was like, I didn't use that word at all. Because my husband, he speaks English, like
sometimes he knows
when he was little. So he lives with
well,
that.
you either heard it and you understand it, or you've never heard it. But I'm not one to use big long words personally. I like to just keep it simple. I try and keep it within my own vocabulary. But this is where the politicians blind us with science. They use such big long words that we're none the wiser at the end of the speech, quite honestly, which is a bit ridiculous. But there you are. They need to come down to the level of the average person and not try to give us a load of stuff.
And some of my students say that it's hard for them to understand you.
Oh, yes, I'm sure.
And then it's like, oh, it's hard for us to understand. And I told them that, you know what, the more you speak to him, the more you understand him. And sometimes if you don't understand, just look at him, like when he's saying something, and then you can get even from how his lips move. Yeah.
Shape of the mouth, where the tongue was. It is 101 little things, isn't it? But I noticed when I was talking to your niece, and there was another lady who was running the meeting, begins with the letter T, Tyra, something like that.
And the other one is, do you know Marina? Is it Marina or Tina?
Yeah, there was just three of them. This was some time ago, but I was aware after a while that I was talking far too fast, and they couldn't absorb it. But of course, they didn't have the courage to say, Alan or whatever, can you just slow down so that we have more time to understand what you're saying?
Oh, the other one is Tina, and
then
that's
one, yeah.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce it? Tina. Ah, right. And there's the other gentleman. He had
and Eddie,
a little bit to say.
Eddie is the other one.
Yeah.
Eddie.
He spoke quite a bit, which was very good.
And they have studied just for 1 month. I was teaching them for just 1 month during these holidays, because I even quite amazed that they get, they get something quickly, yeah. When I was telling them.
What was your niece's name again?
Marina. Marina. Marina.
Oh, Marina. Yes. Well, she's gradually out of her shell, but she's extremely shy, isn't she? I think she's all right once she gets going, but initially she's, I don't know what it is. You can see that she's extremely shy. But I've seen her give a little talk when she was introducing herself, straight off the cuff. I think she must have had, maybe it practices parrot fashion, I don't know. Her name, her age, a bit about her family. Quite really good. But once we got away from that, she was having a little bit of difficulty. Now, maybe it was me, I don't know, but I must remember to try and slow things down for their sake in future, which I'm sure we will have.
Have you seen there is that group? I put them together. Group. It's a messenger group. I put them together. The one that you like talking with you. They send like their voice, the voice recording.
What, a recording?
Yeah. And if maybe like if you have time or something like that, and then you can hear like if you understand what they are saying. But if you say I don't understand, it means that the way they say something doesn't make sense. Because for me, if I hear from them, like listen, I might quite understand what they are saying because they were always with me. All right. But if you are the one gonna listen, and then you will hear, and you see like, oh, that doesn't make sense. Oh, that's completely nonsense. You don't.
Well, I only understood less than 50% of what was said. Whether it was the dialects, it certainly wasn't the volume. So it's something that obviously they have to concentrate on. I can always do a recording on my phone, put it in the Galaxy gallery, and I can share it to you. It would just simply be me talking though, where it's much better if we can have a two-way conversation, that I can ask them something and they can reply, or vice versa.
Like some of them, most of them, like in that group, they can, if you send, and because they are there, they, like the time that I teach is like around this time, all the time, like in the evening. So for example, start at 6 or 7, like right now, like she's there, like Miriam, the one that attend, and she always, her problem is not like speaking, like, I don't know, like what's wrong. She can write something like correctly and nice, and but when it comes to speak, like,
well, she's not alone.
I don't know, like what's wrong. Like when it comes to speak, she has a problem. She needs to work on that, and she recorded all the time. She recorded the things in this group. So when you see her like recording, you can correct what she's sending there.
Yes, that's right. Yes, if it was recorded and I could play it back, and I could say, oh, well, that particular sentence, she needs to this is what she needed to have said in good English or whatever, you know. But yes, yeah. I need something to as a reference, but the moment that's been and gone, and we've missed the moment. So somehow we've got to find a way, unless at the end of each little, I don't know, sentence, we set aside time to correct whatever it is he or she has said. I don't know. We'll get there in the end. We'll find a way that we can improve their vocabulary. I always say the same thing every time. They're trying to rush through the words too fast. They are not sounding the vowels, a little bit in the middle of the word.
I can see that. Yes, that's the problem. Yeah, they just like say it quickly. I told them like say it well so that they can understand. The native speakers can understand you guys.
Yeah.
They really need to say the vowels with the consonants, or else it won't make sense.
And also
so
maybe
in this group, they are there. I put them together there, and then they can when you see the things that they are recording, you can listen and tell them like, oh, just say it correctly.
And also I think they need to realize you can break some of these big words down into syllables. I mean, the very word vocabulary, you know, maybe 4 symbols in there. Vocabulary. And many other words, you know, if they can break it down. I don't care how long it takes them to pronounce that. Once they said it once or twice, then it becomes quicker and quicker, and they can just say it as though they were fluent.
Yes, that's the thing that they need to do. They have to say it correctly, because when they say it, you know, like they don't need to rush.
No, because no rush. That's the point.
Yeah,
I think because they're anxious, it's just a natural human thing that when you're anxious, you want to get over this quickly because you're not happy, you're not at ease with yourself, and the sooner you can get it out of the way, the better. But of course, that's the worst thing you can do. It's having the what can I say, the wherefores to make a conscious effort to really slow down. It'll come. It's like anything else, you know, like playing a violin or the piano.
That's correct. And then this is the thing, like, let me share. Okay, let me share something. Let me share something, and then I ask you to read, and they will check this video, and they will see if the one that they read are correct. Okay, let me just share now. Okay, let me see. Okay, what is this? I need to go back.
A passage out of a book, is it, or something?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it is.
Okay. It's okay. I can see here. I will show you. The thing that I asked them to read.
Right.
So that they can they will know what they are doing. Okay, let's see. I was teaching them about using connector. I always when you explain something, I always hear you saying something interesting, like however, therefore, I just, I always hear you saying like, however, wherefore, and I just love it because I know what is that mean in the thing that you are saying. But I told them to use them also, but they couldn't.
Well, they could use the word but, because that's what it means really, isn't it? But it's another way of saying but. I need to do this, or but I need to do something else. Or I could say, however, I need to do this.
But when you use the however one, it's very pretty, because I know it's nice, because I use it also, like before I use but all the time. So I was like, no, making this nice, because I heard the native speakers saying that all the time. Let me do it also. And I can see how beautiful it is when I explain, saying like, however, this is this and this, and you know. So like today, I was telling them about this. I'm going to share with you. Okay, that simple thing that I told them. Okay, this is the thing that I told them about.
Give ideas, yes. There you are, but however.
I told them like giving ideas.
Yes.
Okay, can you explain to us like what is the difference about giving ideas, contracts ideas, and the ideas? And then we're gonna go with the example.
Yes, I mean, I use some of these, not all the time. I suppose some of these phrases become entrenched in your brain, but obviously if you're sharing ideas with somebody, and of course you are aware that just because this is your idea, that doesn't mean to say it's correct or it's true. And so I will emphasize, say, in my opinion, I don't believe that. Now, in other words, I'm telling them this is what I think. You may think differently. So it's a polite way of saying you're just giving your idea, but they feel free to express their idea or their opinion. So it's a diplomatic way of not agreeing or disagreeing with somebody. In my opinion, I've no need to do this. In my opinion, whatever. In my view, yes, well, see, it's almost the same thing. In my view, or to my mind, I would sooner do this or I would sooner do that. That's for me personally. I would say, well, that's one I rarely ever use. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't really care. It's the sort of thing that that is your personal opinions without offending anybody. Because some people can be very vocal and very forthright in their opinions. They think the only opinions that matter are theirs. Yours don't count anymore. This is what I think, you know. And some people have got that ability to really change your mind. This is what politicians do, really. I'm sure they play with words. And if they're very articulate and in expressing themselves, they get the point across. People say, yes, you know, he's absolutely right. I know that's his idea, but I've changed my mind now and I go along with his opinion. Contrast ideas. Yeah, I use this word, however, a lot instead of but. Occasionally I use the word but. I never use the word that said on the odd occasion. In other words, you're changing your, you've just said something, but then you don't really agree with it. And so when you're going to change the, I've got to cancel this, hold on a moment. If you don't necessarily agree with them, then you might say at the same time, and you change your theme and give another version. Or you might say, while what you said is true, you might have another idea that you want to put forward. So it's all adding to the conversation that you're giving your ideas, a contrast, something completely different. You see, you read in the newspapers. Now, I don't know about you, I don't believe everything that I read in the newspapers. If I did, I don't think I would ever live or want to do anything. And they actually exaggerate and put in words which are not really true. And how on earth they get away with it, I do not know. Oh dear, let me cancel this a moment. But they do, and of course sometimes they get it wrong and they are sued for defamation of character. If they are speaking badly of a person, and I won't mention names, but some of the royals have had a real to do with the press, and they take them to court and they're sued for defamation of character. adding ideas on top of that. Well, yes, I mean, having had a discussion with your friend or family, you might like to add your own idea that you've thought of. And you might just say, on top of that, or also, whatever, this is what I think also. Or what's more, and then you add a bit more to your what was already being discussed. And I'd also add that in addition, XYZ, again, it's all adding your thoughts to the topic, whatever it may be. But some people are very dogmatic in their behavior. And this is what makes you warm to people, I think, personally. Some people I say I don't get on with them at all because of their manner, the way they speak to you, as though you're a bit of a dummy or something and you don't do anything. Some people show very little respect.
So that is the add ideas.
Yes, well, you know, these are things that put me off a bit, really. But a person I call them a good listener who will listen to what you have to say. And they might say, well, look, I don't agree with you, but they use the word, I beg to differ. Okay, don't let's fall out. I hear what you're saying. You hear what I have to say. Don't let's fall out. Let's beg to differ. And we're going to be friends.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
There you are.
Okay, so the question is now, like, do you like scary movies? And then you are going to use like give ideas, construct ideas, and add ideas.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I do, but they do scare me. If it's well produced, I want something that's going to move my emotions. I want one that's going to get me on the edge of my seat or curl up in the corner because it's so scary. And it makes your heart race. That's what I call a good scary movie. The only downside is, of course, you might get nightmares and we'll be dreaming all these things in the middle of the night, which is not pleasant. Yeah.
And then when you are explaining like that, and then you use like, however, or on top of that, yes. Or in my opinion, because sometimes it's hard for them to use that in an example like that. Like, do I like scary movies? And then you explain how you I don't know, like maybe I don't know.
Yes.
And then you say
any one of those.
Yeah.
And integrate it into what you want to tell them. Yes. I mean, I don't watch many movies these days. Because of my lifestyle, I don't stay up late at night watching movies. And of course, all these scary movies come on very late at night because of children. Well, I'm one of those people that go to bed early. 9 o'clock is, I'm thinking about going to bed. So I don't really get to see
9 o'clock is early.
But if I would like to watch one now and again, just to get my adrenaline flowing. Yeah.
Yeah. So for you, it is very important to use those connectors.
There is a time and place when all these will be coming. Some are more popular than others, as you realize. But of course, as you become more fluent, you remember, just at that brief moment, you remember one of these little sayings, and it all adds to the variety of your vocabulary and makes it much more interesting, of course. I mean, children don't have that ability. They're struggling to learn basic words, never mind all these that we have in front of us. But as you become more fluent in the language, you will remember quite a few of these and you will use it in your day-to-day speech. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. I give like some example like this. Like, do you think it's important for friends to laugh together? And then like using those things, like, to my mind, it's extremely important because it helps us to chill out. And I haven't been going out with my friends much lately, but when we do go out together, we absolutely love to crack a few jokes.
Like a few jokes.
Yeah.
Yes.
On top of that, I just think laughing is a great way to stay healthy and positive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Better than any medicine. I think life, if you're of that nature and have a laugh and a joke, I'm sure it's good for your health. I've seen this written many times, better than, as I say, than any medicine. And yeah, why not? I mean, there's nothing wrong in having a joke, having a laugh. And if you can share it with friends, you all laugh together, you know.
That's true.
I remember watching a video once of a man giving artificial respiration to a patient who presumably is unconscious. And of course, they don't use a real person, they use a dummy. But everybody was gathering around watching this man giving the kiss of life. And of course, they're laughing away. And of course, what the person emphasized was they are laughing with you, not at you. That's the difference. They are joining in the fun side of it, and they're not poking fun at you. They're just simply finding it all very funny, the way that you're administering the kiss of life or whatever it is. You know?
Yeah.
So that's an interesting thing, isn't it? Laughing
it's
with you,
interesting
not
one.
at you.
Yeah. And another example is like, do you prefer sunsets or do you prefer sunrises or sunsets?
Both. We have some very dramatic sunsets here. I don't know whether I'm up early enough to see many sunrises, but lots of sunsets here in the mountains. Beautiful, pink skies, all colors, orange and yellow, and the whole sky is as though it's on fire. It's a massive pink, and if there are clouds around, that even adds to the scene. These lovely pink fluffy balls as the sun goes down. I love sunsets. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. So can you like how you are going to use the one that giving ideas, then contract ideas and add ideas, or I don't know, like when I remember when you explain something, you were like, I love the way you say, however, sunset is good.
Here we go again. It's Alan's favorite word. However, I do love it.
When I heard about however, I just like the things come across into my mind is you. Like that, Alan.
You see, you could use that instead of contrast ideas. And like I say, I love sunsets. At the same time, I love sunrises. And so, or we could say, while it's true, I do really enjoy sunsets, I do, however, enjoy sunrises. So you can use a combination of any of them, really.
It's a combination, and it's nice. Yeah. It's very good. I think those are the example. Okay, what simple thing that makes you happy? What simple thing that makes you happy?
Oh dear. I think perhaps one of the most enjoyable things is meeting people on the various chat boxes. And as you know, I'm a social animal, if you like. I do like meeting people. I don't say I like to know their private life. I like to know who they are, where they live, and something about their culture, because it is so different to ours. And I find that interesting, and that makes me happy. Yeah. And of course, if I can impart any useful knowledge to another person, whether it be English or whatever, that makes me happy. It's a feeling of fulfillment, you know? Yeah.
I would say talking to you makes me happy.
Oh, that's right. Well, we
however,
get on so well.
There is that.
I'm just trying to think how I met you in the
there is someone else like talking to me in a chat box. It's still like it's the best way to talk to you, because we have been friends like since 2017, and it's been a long time. On top of that, my children are like attached to you, like, where is Grandpa? Where is Grandpa, man? You know? So it's like, in addition, it's like when we don't talk to you, maybe for a week or something like that, they ask, where's Grandpa?
Yeah, well, sometimes, of course, I don't visit every chat box. Over a period of time, there are some that I enjoy a little bit more than others. And so I don't want to be on chat box every day of the week. Now, let's just say on average, I might join 3 chat boxes a week. So I try to share it out a bit. And of course, I've neglected you this week. I haven't been with you all week because I've been on 2 or 3 other chat boxes, Coffee English, what's it called, Mila, her chat box, and one other. Yes, I mean, in between, of course, I've got to know 1 or 2 people personally, and I do a one-to-one talk, particularly with some of the Vietnamese people. What surprises me is most of these people who come on chat box are teachers anyway.
Yes.
I think, wow, that's incredible. And of course, I say, I just simply want to be able to improve my English. You know, I teach English, but perhaps my dialect is not so good. And I say, well, there's only one way we're going to know that, and if you talk to me. So quite frequently, I'll talk to several on a one-to-one basis, but of course, it all takes time. And because of the time lag or difference, I only have a limited time, you know, that I can do this. And
yeah,
of course, I want
true.
some social life, so I like to go out in the mornings and come back in the afternoons. Having said that, at the same time,
oh, and this is the thing, like there is like a worst, that's true. One of the students was asking me, what is your ST? And I told them that I told her that it is like a world English. They put that ST, even Woodst, even for example, you can see like come, and they put TH, come. So I told her that it's a world English, but some people still use them, like, you know, to respect one another, like, you know, right. Like thou art nice, and you know, oh my goodness, those things. So I told it's the way they use the old English, but some of them
I'm
still
quite sure they do a good job teaching people English in their own country. If they were teaching English to English people, that might be a different story, because now that's when the dialect has got to be absolutely perfect. Yes. Cambridge or Oxford, you know. I don't say, I don't like the accent, but I've said this before. People who have been educated at Eton College, their dialect or their speech is a little bit over the top. You must have heard our politicians and Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister. I find it really irritating. It's not, to me, it's not normal language. It really irritates me beyond words. Oh dear.
It's nice to keep it simple, so people can understand.
There we go. So there is a difference between English, you're teaching English, which I'm quite sure 85–90% of it is great. And then they're going to criticize you because of your dialect, because this is new to them. This is a new topic, English. And it's good.
So how do you say this one with the ST? This one. WHILST, and that's
whilst. The T is quite whilst. You do find all the letters. It's not whilst, it's whilst. Whilst at the same time. Whilst that's true. Whilst I am alive, I'm going to do all I can to have fun.
Yeah, it's interesting. Okay, so say it again. Can you say it again? The pronunciation of this?
Whilst. The whole word. whilst. The ST is pronounced. I tell you something that's missing with a lot of vocabulary, and that's the G at the end of the word. I'm coming, I'm going. If you say I'm coming, I'm going. The G isn't there, there's an N on the end. I say, hang on, it's going, I'm coming. No, I'm not going, and I'm not coming. Little things like that, but I'm not going to criticize
you are right.
That will come with practice. Yeah.
I think we have covered the thing, but like we were talking about this also, like today, like the 3 simple ways to become a happier family. And I was telling them to read it, just reading it, and then if I can understand what they are saying. So would you mind to read? Like just read.
By all means. 3 simple ways to become a happier family. Making time for each other. Here are the 10 steps to follow. Number 1, make every minute count. Number 2, block out one evening each week. It goes on to, well, we'll do number 3.
Number 3.
Do things together. Number 4, have meals together. Now that is quite important, which is very rarely happens nowadays. Young people in the UK simply want to be on their own. They don't want to have their lunch with mum and dad anymore. They don't think that's very cool. But to have your meals together where you can discuss all sorts of things. Number 6, go 5. Go one-on-one. Not quite sure what they mean there. Go one-on-one.
Okay, that means like you go one-on-one with your children. For example, me and Larine, I have to talk to her one-on-one.
Yes.
And one-to-one. Lacey or Lincoln, I have to have time one-on-one with them. And my husband has to have time one-on-one with one-on-one of each and every one of them.
Yes, I always call that quality time. They're getting 100% of your devotion to them when you're talking to them. It might be sitting on your lap or sitting next to you on the sofa. But going one-on-one. It's great. And number 6, getting involved with your children's activities, which is what you do. You're involved with everything they do, and they appreciate your help, I'm sure. Number 7, this is a good one. Turn off the television. It's the biggest killer of conversation altogether, along with mobile phones. You could add mobile phones there also, because it's the biggest killer of conversation I've ever come across, particularly mobile phones. You go to any restaurant and you see them all sitting around the table. Nobody's talking because they're all glued to their mobile phones.
That is terrible.
Or you visit a family and they're glued to the television. It's as though they're hypnotized and there's nobody saying a word. And you're afraid to say something because they say, shh, shh, be quiet, we're listening. Shh, be quiet, be quiet. Oh, no. It's so
that is not good. They are they have to switch off the television so that they can communicate one another.
Well, some families can do that, but others want dead silence until they switch off the program.
But that is boring.
Do not spend a lot of time at the internet. Well, yes, I'm afraid, unfortunately, this is something that all of us are guilty in a way, but children more so. If you let them go, they would be on there. I'll give you an example. My daughter, her son spends the whole day on the internet. He doesn't come out of his bedroom. He doesn't talk to anybody. He doesn't socialize. And so really, although the internet is good, it's not so good if you're not having
That
fun.
is not good at all. Oh my goodness. That is absolutely, oh my gosh.
And of course, finally, number 9, help your children develop their talents. Yeah, I think all children have a natural talent, whether it be writing, drawing, singing, playing the piano, playing the violin. Yes, help them with that talent, you know, encourage them. And if they enjoy that, who knows, they might become a professional singer or writer, who knows. But isn't it strange how some children develop a talent at a very early age? I watch some things on Facebook. Some of these children, only about 18 months of age, have a natural rhythm for dancing, flamenco or whatever. I watch their movements and I think, my goodness, at this rate, only a year and a half.
It's beautiful.
They're going to be professionals by the time they're 5 or 6.
Yes, that's true. That is true.
Helping them develop will speed up their progress, obviously. See, some parents don't take any interest in their children whatsoever. If they get in the way, they say, well, just go out and play. I don't want to know. I've got too many things to do or whatever. And it's just a brush off. There's no genuine interest in their children's welfare. But there you are. All families are different, but this is what makes the difference between a person who's educated and one that isn't, and is always a bit of a dumbo and bottom of the class, and will never succeed in life as they deserve. They deserve better than that. But maybe
that's true.
Like this will enlighten or give a wake-up call to the adults and say, yes, you're right. These things are important to the development of my child. And I'm sure every parent wants their child to be a success, I'm sure. But yes, an excellent list of things to making time for each other.
Yeah. And I was telling them, like, they have to explain, you know, that 10 steps, they need to break them down and explain what is the meaning of making time each other, like make every minute counts. That is like they have to break them down. And then here is the one that the example.
Which is your favorite?
Yeah. So it says like, okay, we listen how you read it. Like you just read from the beginning up to the end, so that they will listen if they understand you. Like can you please like read and they will listen.
Well, first step, make every minute count. You can strengthen your family bonds by spending as much time together as possible. Finding more time begins with setting priorities. Determine what is most important in your life. Examine how you currently spend your time. Allocate enough time to those things that are most important. It's common for many people to feel they do not have enough time for their families. As a result, family just gets the time that's left over after everything else. With a little effort, we can make our families a priority by making time for them.
Yes, they have a problem of saying priorities. Like what is that? Begins with setting.
Oh, priorities.
Yeah, priorities. And then this one is a priority or priority?
Yes.
Like the last one, like we can make our families.
Yes, I mean, you know what priorities are, things that matter the most. In the order of priority. What is the first thing would you consider is the first priority? And we've mentioned so many there. You could prioritize some of those and put them in a different order. Depends on your perception, etc.
Okay, yes, and it's yeah, like sometimes when you read, I can hear like sometimes for me, it's not a problem for me like to hear you saying it. No, I can understand everything, but for them, if you like swallow something like important,
it could be too fast for them. Apart from that, I doubt if they would know 50% of that vocabulary anyway. So the moment you don't know the meaning of a word, you're beginning to lose the plot, as I call it.
Yes, like for example,
yeah, I mean,
allocate enough time to those things.
Allocate. Yeah, what is allocate? Yes, that's right. I know what you mean. Yes, to allocate, to spread out, to give certain tasks to people, to allocate, to distribute.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the block out one evening each week.
Yes, this is the second step, is it? Block out one evening each week. The hectic demands of day-to-day life can crowd out your family's long-term goals. As everyone in the family unit, many families that scheduling one evening together each week can strengthen family ties and increasing unity. Use the time to have fun and to instruct your children. Teach values that are important to your family. Discuss topic of interest. Plan for important events. Share uplifting stories. It might be difficult at first to get each family member there, but if you are dedicated to having this together each week, your family members will find ways to clear their schedules to be there. Okay.
Okay,
right.
It's a very nice. And the last one, you say if you are what? Like if you are dedicated, is it like dedicated?
Let me pick that up a moment. Well, at the top of the paragraph. Are we near the top or the bottom?
It might difficult. Oh, you say it might be. Forget put like be. It might be difficult after the share. You know, the share uplifting stories.
Am I on the same?
Okay, like after share uplifting stories, and there is it might be difficult, isn't it?
It might be difficult at first to get each family member there. But if you are dedicated to having this together each week, your family members will find ways to clear their schedules to be there. In other words, they might have other things planned, a different schedule, but because this becomes a daily or a weekly get-together, they are probably quite happy to alter their schedule to fit in with you and all sit together and enjoy the discussion. Absolutely, yeah.
That's right.
Might say, oh, I watch a program on television. Oh, well, forget that because we're all going to sit together and have a discussion at the table or something.
Yeah, that's true. The third one is do things together.
Yeah.
And would you mind to read the third one? Can you see it?
And then I have to sign off. Third step. Do things together. Strong families know that one of the most important keys is actually to do things together. It seems obvious, but it is so often overlooked. Whether it is simple activity or a grant and vacation, the important thing is that you are together. Here are some activities, ideas your family might find enjoyable. Musical. Attend your children's music recitals or local musical performance. Nature. Hike, camp, bird, watch, or work together in your garden. Service. Take dinner to a neighbor. Participate in community service or help with fundraising activities. Spiritual. Go to church together with your family. Read scriptures and pray together regularly. Social. Go out for ice cream. Go on a picnic. Have parties with family and friends. There you are. That's quite a list, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
And this is one last one, the sport. Like they do sport. Sport is very important as well. The activities that they do together.
Sports, events, play backyard games, ice skate, roller skate, ride bikes, fish, boat, dance, or ski. Works, clean and maintain your home and yard, prepare meals, paint a room, plant a tree, learn, visit historic sites, museums, zoos, planetariums, or libraries. So there we are. There's another list of
very interesting and great one.
I think there's a slight spelling mistake on. I think that should read planetariums. I could be wrong.
Planetariums. Oh, okay. Maybe. Yeah. Which one? Can you spell
between the A and the E? But check it out in the dictionary. Don't take my word for it. I'm not a super duper speller.
No. The thing is, I might drop some spelling or something like
the
that.
Odd letter, yeah.
Yeah, I might drop. Is it like planet?
I read into it. That's why I guess it was planetarium.
Okay.
Have you ever been to a planetarium, Jenny? Have you ever been to a planetarium?
I'm not quite sure about that.
Well, I've only ever been to one, and it's in London, and it is called the Planetarium. And it is the most amazing experience you will ever have in your life.
So what is it then? Well, the planetarium.
It is so well set up. It's like sitting in a cinema, but you're looking 360 degrees. You sit in a full circle. And in the center is, of course, a narrator and special cameras. And the ceiling is dome-shaped, dome, you understand? And they project up on the ceiling all the solar system.
Really?
And they can illuminate the moon or Mars or certain stars. And as you know, each pattern of stars has a name. Could be the bear, the twins. And of course, the narration that goes with it is absolutely incredible. And I guarantee in that half, 3/4 of an hour, you will lose yourself. You will forget where you are. You are up there in the spacecraft. It is so real. You are up in the spacecraft admiring the beautiful solar system. And
oh my goodness. I want to experience that, especially my children, because Lincoln, a few of them, they love that. They love the solar system.
I recommend you take them to the planetarium. You need to book a ticket, but it's the most wonderful experience you will ever have. It's one that's been with me for many, many years, probably 60, 70 years, but it's still with me even today. I was so impressed. It almost made me cry. It was wonderful.
Oh my goodness. I think we want to have that experience, because those things they will never forget. They will never ever forget, because like my husband was saying that you know what, you need to take the children in those different things and make them to experience those things, and they will never forget that. They will never forget. Yeah, you are right.
And of course, alongside
I think we want to do that. I think here, I'm sure they do have that one here in South Africa. Yeah,
they might have it in other parts of the world, but this particular one, of course, is in the center of London. But alongside the planetarium, you generally book the two events in one go. Is a place called Madame Tussauds, and they have one in Paris, also in France. And of course, they're wax models for all the famous people. politicians, pop stars, the Queen, all the royals, all the famous people that you've heard about. There'll be a wax model in Madame Tussauds. And they are so real. I mean, you really think you're standing next door to this person.
I think that person really needs you.
Sorry?
Like that person who is calling needs to talk to you, isn't it?
Yes, I need to talk about sex. On that note, I think I will close because you've been trying to get hold of me now for the last half an hour. So if it's all the same to you, Jenny, nice having a great chat with you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Alan.
Okay,
yeah,
you're very welcome.
I really appreciate that because yeah, I'm going to send this to the student so that they are going to listen, because they have been recording themselves, and maybe they make some mistakes and something like that. And well, they are going to listen to this. They will correct themselves. They will repeat again, and then yeah, because that's the way to help them. I
try to read at a pace that they should be able to pick it up. I don't think you can talk
before we go, do you mind to read this one, the first one? But because this is the last one.
This is
the fifth one.
And then I must go. So this is the fourth step. And it starts off, go one-on-one. In other words, I call it one-to-one, but I know what you mean. When you forge a strong parent-child relationship, you help your child feel valued, loved, and self-confident. Spending individual time with each of your children is the key, is key in building those relationships. When you and your child are alone together, you can listen, share feelings, and ask questions without fearing what other family members might think. Participate in hobbies and activities you both enjoy. Tell stories or sing songs at bedtime. Schedule individual time with each child. Read the scriptures together and ask your children what they would like to do. There you go.
Yeah. Nice. Thank you so much, Alan.
Okay, I must go now because my friend back in England will thinking, what on earth's the matter with Alan tonight? He's not talking to me.
Okay, all
so
right,
until next
Alan.
time, Jenny.
Okay, so see you other time we just plan. And then, as I said, like Friday or Saturday or something like that, around 7.
We'll arrange something in time.
Okay. Thank you. Good night.
Okay. Take care now. Bye-bye now.
Okay. Bye-bye.